to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Oh, good day, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsOnTheD.com. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie.
Shalom, Mike.
And also with you.
Thank you for closing that greeting circle. I feel better, and I know the listeners do too.
Hi, Jay.
Hi, Mike.
Good day, sir. How are you?
Well, to quite well, Mike. Right in the target range. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. Happy 313 Day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. It's March 13, which is 313 Day.
Wow.
Do you remember when we lived in the hood and had 313 as our area code?
I do, and then they introduced 810 and all
Was
that
it 810 that was first? I believe it was.
I thought so, yeah.
Was 734 next or 248?
I thought 586 and 248 then came barging in.
Yeah.
Not sure.
I bet you had not a care in the world that you were no longer 313, living in Farmington Hills, and they switched us to 810.
Is that right?
Yeah, because I remember being fucking pissed.
Why, man? Because your street cred went
Dude,
out the window?
My cred is gone. When I'm no longer 313.
When you travel around the country, you'd be like, I'm from the 313.
Dude, 3 and
Yo.
third. I'm from the 3 and a third, Holmes.
Yeah.
What up? And now it's like, oh, hi, I'm from 810. Hi.
810.
And they're like, ugh, suburbs?
Right.
Nice. I mean, I remember, this is going to date us. We're old as shit. But before we had area codes.
Sure.
I remember that when it was, you just dial a phone number.
Just go, 477-4620, whatever.
Yeah. Or you could just do for yours,
477
cross. Yeah.
It sucked.
It did. And then we were kick-ass in the 313 with our hood, and now we're not. But anyways, happy 313 Day. E, you don't remember those days, do you?
I think I remember when 248 came in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Easy's is old. Don't deny Easy.
No, but I don't remember 313 to 81. I mean, I remember having 810 and then 248 coming in. So,
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I know. It is.
Spectacularly.
It sure as hell is.
Interesting day. The White House is apparently on fire as we speak. I was bummed, man. Did you see Rex Tillerson get
Why are you bummed?
tossed out? Because I like Rex.
What do you know about him?
What I know about him, which is about what I know about any of these people, which is little to nothing.
Yeah.
But what I do know about him, I liked. He seemed like a no bullshit, not interested in
Seemed like
gossip.
seemed like a big old bear.
Yep, big
bear,
old
bear of
bear.
a man.
Yep, doesn't take shit from nobody.
You could picture him as an old oilman.
Listen, Leslie, we don't dangle carrots. We dangle sticks.
Oh yeah, you watched him on
60
CNN or
minutes.
some shit
No,
the other day.
60 minutes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, you saw him for 20 minutes and fell in love with old Rex.
No, I
Now
liked
he's
him
gone.
before. I liked him before. But he learned that he was fired the same time I did from Twitter, which seems a bit odd. Isn't that weird?
That's a pro move, huh?
Yeah. So Trump went on a thing this morning, and Rex is gone, and the former CIA director is Mike Pompeo will take over. Director of the CIA will become the new Secretary of State, and he did thank Rex for his service. Gina Haspel will become the new director of the CIA.
The first woman.
Yes, first woman chosen. Congratulations to her. Historic day.
If I have a chance to grab her by the pussy, I will.
Yes. By the way, Pompeo graduated first in his class at West Point, served with distinction in the Army, graduated with honors from Harvard Law. God, that's a lot of shit, isn't it?
It is. It's pretty impressive.
Dude, that's like, I couldn't do that in 14 lifetimes. No. Any one of those.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the reports are he's more on the same wavelength with Trump, whereas Rex and him didn't see eye to eye on literally anything around the world.
Yeah. Well, when he called Trump a moron, remember that?
I don't.
Yeah, he called Trump. That was the report, and he won't address it. And then he had to come out and make that weird statement.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Trump
that
made him come out and say like
Kiss the ring.
Just for the record, Trump is very, very smart. One of the smartest guys I've ever met. It was like, ugh. and
he's a very stable genius.
yeah, and they actually brought up in the I think it was the 60 Minutes interview. Maybe it was a different interview I saw. They're like, so that moron thing where you apparently called him a moron. You want to confirm or deny, and he's like, I'm not going to get into such pettiness. Like, as if it wasn't true. If someone accused me of calling you a moron, which I've probably done, I don't know, who knows. But if I didn't think I did, I would just go, dude, stop. No, I've never called him. What are you crazy?
Right.
What are we, 5?
Yeah.
No, I didn't call him a moron. Well, I'm not even going to get into the.
He called him a moron.
Yeah, totally called him a moron and bummed Trump out bigly. So yeah. So bye Rex. I have my own personal take on this as to why this happened, because this is a shock. This came out of nowhere, and my personal opinion is, with everything going on with North Korea, he was clearly not taking shit from North Korea. He wasn't taking their calls. He was going to wait for the right moment when they fully understood the gravity of the seriousness.
Mike, I think you're
of
giving
what we
Rex
meant.
way too much credit, because I believe if you rewind, he actually said something that pissed Trump off, I don't know, in October, where he was like, yeah, we'll talk to North Korea. And Trump was like, we will not talk to North Korea right now. So clearly they weren't on the same wavelength in terms of how to handle that.
They weren't about some Russia thing last week, too, when he made when Rex said something about, remember the ex-KGB or whatever that was poisoned? Did you hear about that story? We never talked about it, but, and Rex was like, clearly this is Russia, Putin, blah, blah, blah. It's unacceptable that, in today's world, you just can't behave like that, da, da, da. And the White House would not say whether or not they thought it was Russia or Putin that did it. Mm-hmm. And so they were at odds on that. But I really think that Rex was working hard dealing with North Korea. And then when Rocket Man said, I'll talk to... Yes, very good. We'll talk to Trump if you will talk to me, and we talk about denuclearization. Remember he said that, right? And then Trump went, yes, I'll be there in May. And apparently he never even, talked to Rex and got his opinion on it. So my thought is they got in the, first time back in a room together, got into a fucking screaming match about, dude, I'm working all this shit over here, and then you just agree to a fucking meeting in person? What are you doing?
Yeah, or Trump's trying to line everything up for that meeting, and he's like, I don't like Rex anyway. We're not going to see eye to eye on this, so I'm going to get my guy.
He's kind of got a stupid name. Rex, what kind of a name is Rex?
It's actually a badass name,
it is,
Rex Tillerson.
Yeah. By the way,
Hall of Fame.
Speaking of names, I saw Don Jr. yesterday. Or this morning he was giving interviews, but yesterday he was at a chocolate factory and a blah blah blah. It's all this stupid shit. But he's like,
what?
Because they're fucking popping off for some guy that's running for a midterm election in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. He's out there stumping.
Yeah, he's out there stumping. He had a hairnet on in one of the pictures. He's in the factory. He just looks like a boob. But he's like, I understand that DJT is not on the ticket this time for this, but it's still a very, very...
DJT.
3 times. Called
wow,
him
I'd never heard that.
Yeah. Dude. Cannot call your dad DJT.
DJT.
And just, that's like Seacrest out. When that all of a sudden showed up on our doorstep, it was like, Seacrest out. It was like, whoa, hold on. Whoa, what? What was that? No, Ryan, you don't just get to just drop Seacrest out on everybody and act like, what? I understand DJT's not on the ticket this time around, but it's a very, very important election. And no one called him out of it. We wouldn't have let that pass, would we?
No.
I like to think we would go, hold on. I think I understand what you were saying there, but did you just say DJT?
T.O. and the DJT.
Yeah, not happening. So anyway, also apparently Trump's personal assistant was escorted out of the White House today.
Oh no!
So I don't know who knows what's going on there, but yeah, boy.
Yeah, he's just reshuffling some things.
Yeah, shaking things up. Why not?
Year 2.
Why not? A little more on the pilot. I don't want to call him a lousy pilot, but
the doomed helicopter in New York City.
That's the thing that sucks about a job like that. You don't get one error. You know what I mean? Like, you really have to kind of be perfect forever, and you run the risk. You can have a 30-year career that's stellar, but you drop one bird in the ocean and kill a bunch of people.
You know what would have been badass is had the pontoons employed. Did you know that they had, or deployed? Did you know they had those?
I heard that, and I don't know why they didn't.
They were deployed. They were as they lifted this thing out of the river, but obviously they didn't deploy in time.
Yeah,
or he hadn't pulled it in time. But how cool would that have been, huh?
If it just went and just touched down.
Bunk.
And just sat there and
just
floated.
Sat there.
Oh, man.
Just going to glide her into that port over there.
Dude, that would be sweet.
That's what's supposed to happen.
I know. I don't know what happened. The guy panicked, obviously, and didn't push the right button.
He's no TC.
No. the helicopter pilot and sole survivor, you remember, so he can basically say anything, you know. There's no one that was in that bird that's going to, oh, yeah, there they are, all deployed, that's going to contradict his story, but he's telling police that, yeah, I think there was a loose tether on one of those jackasses back there, one of those passengers, one of the 5, and it's probably might have triggered the fuel switch. It got stuck on there, you know, one of those dopes threw it on there willy-nilly. And
what do the experts say, Mike?
Well, there's a couple experts, and they're like, yeah, that explanation is highly implausible. Pilot Richard Vance maybe hiding his own mistake. Like, ooh. So we got aviation lawyer.
Well, before we go there and say he's hiding something, like, do we even know if that's a direct quote from him or if that was just a suggestion? Like, maybe
that's
the
what
bags.
he told the police, apparently.
Right, but we don't have like a quote like, this is what happened and I saw it and it was that and that's why we went down. I mean, he could just be searching like, we had a lot of luggage back there. Could have been that maybe one of the straps.
Sure.
So before he's like labeled as trying to cover it up.
Why you defending Vance? He just murdered 5 people.
No, it seems odd that, like, dude, isn't it by the way, like Mike said, you make one mistake. I mean, it seems like even if he didn't, isn't it possible that he could do something that's just not means he should be in jail for murder or what, you know what I mean, or whatever? Like,
wait, say that. I'm not following.
I feel like there could be flight error. There could be things that he didn't do.
Definitely.
Not his fault. Like, it sounds he hasn't had issues in the past. I mean, why would you just?
His dad told us he's a great pilot.
I know. We did
Okay,
hear
all
from
I
him.
needed to
I'm
hear.
just saying. I agree.
Yeah, we just
I don't
don't
think you should
know.
just jump on to assume this guy like
Or
is a
assume that this
reason.
is a direct quote from this guy. He may have just been fishing for reasons.
For sure.
No pun intended, Mike. They were in a river. I know.
Right. He could absolutely be going, look, man, I don't know. I didn't see anything flashing, blinking. I pushed all the buttons I was supposed to.
I know
flipped
they had a
all
lot
the
of
levers.
luggage back there. Maybe that was it.
Maybe one of those idiots fucking got his thing caught around. I don't know, man. Look into it. See if the lever's down. And so the expert, Gary Robb, the aviation lawyer, is like, look, listen, and that type of...
Did he really say so?
No, he didn't. And that type of helicopter, the lever needs to be pulled up and then put back down to be activated. It's not enough to accidentally pull it. Moreover, if activated by mistake, the error is normally fixed with a breakaway safety wire. I suspect a more plausible explanation is the pilot simply activated the wrong lever. Oof. That's a shot you don't want to hear from a
that is a shot.
lawyer.
Because, again, we don't know the context of this guy's statement, whether it was just he's fishing, just trying to pick his brain as to what caused it, or if that is the reason he's giving.
Yeah.
So that's an unfair shot at this point.
I would agree. His statement, the lawyer's statement, did kind of align with the NTSB's Vice Chair Bella Czar, who said, yeah, we've seen many things that have happened in an airplane. I've personally not seen this type of accident before. It did crash at 7:06 right there in the East River. And
Just personally not seen a helicopter lose power before? I mean, what?
I don't know. This type
Or
of
are
accident.
we focused on the fuel switch again?
Maybe.
Because, again, we don't know if
Listen
that's
to
what
the
he's
lawyer.
claiming. We
Listen,
just don't know. I don't like
have
how...
you been contacted by Pilot Vance?
This is what you've complained about before, where this Vance guy, I'm just going to leave this here. Yeah. It's the equivalent of that. I mean, it's almost worse, really.
Well, I don't know why it's coming out. Like whatever interviews he's giving to law enforcement right now, why is that getting out to the media anyways? I mean, that should
'Cause
trouble
leakers
people.
leak.
I know, but it should trouble people when your politicians can't go behind closed doors in a Senate meeting without 15 minutes later details leaking all over the fucking media. That's a problem. It's a problem when law enforcement can't do an interview with someone about something sensitive like this without something like this coming out. Because you're right, it's not fair to him. We don't know the context in which he said that. He could absolutely. They're going, well, what do you think happened? You were the one in the plane. He's going, fuck, dude.
No idea. All I know is I lost power. Maybe the switch in the back was caught. I don't know. And then I was, he claims the switch in the back was caught. Liar.
Yeah.
He's a murderer.
What he told police was a loose tether. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, dude, that's not how I said it.
Yeah. And maybe he did. I don't know. We need to wait to hear what comes out. Maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't know.
2 passengers died at the scene. 3 were taken to the hospital and critical, said the FDNY Commissioner Daniel Negro.
What? Daniel Negro. What, Mike?
I like to say Negro. I put the H on the thing, Negro. You know what I mean? Can you lend a Negro a pencil?
Did you see my hashtag the other day? The renega. I called E a renega. He reneges on everything, right?
Did you put the H on
I
the end
did.
of it so
I
it was
put the AH.
Renega?
Yes.
Yeah,
I put
you
the
renege-
hyphen
yes.
AH.
Yeah.
If you hashtag if you go to hashtag reneg hyphen AH, you'll find my tweet.
Wow, is it one of one?
Actually, no.
Did that hashtag take off?
Hashtags won't take punctuation like that. So as soon as I did that, the hyphen, it stopped at reneg.
Oh,
I mean,
okay. So
it
you're in
allowed
with
me
a...
to type it, but it's just
Yeah.
it's going to be in with reneg.
Right.
I don't know.
Daniel Negro, he said one of the most difficult parts of the operation was the 5 people, besides the pilot, who were tightly harnessed in this. So these harnesses had to be cut and removed in order to get these folks off this helicopter. Again, said Commissioner Negro.
Can we just call him Commissioner Black?
Is it Negro? Nigro?
NIGR. I think it's Negro.
Boy, you know, when they talk about name changes and stuff,
Negro.
like if you're the Negro family, don't you just go,
It's a Fontez situation.
yeah, but I don't
With
know.
Wayne Fonts and Len Fontez.
Like if I'm
There's a major break in the Negro family. You know there is.
I know, right?
Yeah. John Nigro here.
Yeah, it's John Nigro at your service. No. You're not going to Nigro your name, son. No. Like, I think you just got to, like, throw an L in there. It's Nilgro. I'm the Nilgros. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just opened. It's like being born into the Hunt family and your asshole parents give you the name Mike. And it's like, dude, I can't go around the rest of my life as Mike Hunt. I just can't do it.
The Wangs are tricky, too,
Yeah. The Hat family's a problem, too.
apparently.
You want to name your kid Mike if your last name is Hat. Mike Hat. All right, son. Enough of your funny business. What are you, a comedian? Get in the car. You get your ass kicked by a cop. What's your name, son? Mike Hat. All right. That's when billy clubs come out, you know?
Speaking of cats, did you see that tweet where the Troy police want you to follow them, and if they get 10,000 followers on Twitter, they're going to get a police cat? What does that even mean,
What?
man? A police cat?
Do they mean like a bobcat?
No, they mean like a kitty cat.
cat?
A little kitty cat.
Oh, yeah, I want a kitty cat.
A little feline, like for their department, I think.
They know they can get one of those like super easy
I know,
without
dude.
any...
They just want
followers,
influencers like us, Mike, to talk about it.
All right,
fell
well, what
into
do we
the
have to
trap.
do to get them the cat?
We fell into the trap. We just need to follow them on Twitter. Follow Troy Police. They'll get a cat.
Troy Police. All right, let's get Troy... I'll give them pants. You can have pants.
There you go.
Just take pants with you on the way home. Swing by Troy.
OFC Pants.
There you go. Officer pants.
Hey, got to tell you about the Hamlin Pub. They have 5 locations, Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, and 2 in Shelby Township. Hamlin Pub offers a wide selection of craft beers. Most are brewed right here in Michigan. They have great happy hour specials Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. They have half off appetizers on Monday. Check out all their specials at all 5 locations. Go to hamlinpubs.com for more information, Mike.
Yes. Did you see Eminem at the iHeartRadio Awards? I thought they went bankrupt, by the way.
I know.
What's going
How's
on
that
here?
happen? I guess the show must go on, right, Mike?
Well-
they announced bankruptcy on Friday, and then still having their little award show and doing their thing.
Maybe paying to have Eminem and Jay-Z and Beyonce at your fucking party isn't the best idea when you're filing for bankruptcy.
Still trying to pretend radio's relevant, Mike.
Oh yeah, it's super relevant. I mean, huge salaries being offered to great talent everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is. I mean, there's.
I listened to a little of those dickheads on the way in today.
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you think? Good
They're
stuff. Getting
awesome,
better.
man. It's good
Yeah.
stuff, man.
Finding their groove.
Finding their groove. What were they talking about? Shit. So they were
Dude,
asking
think we're
by
talking
them-
about
I
anything.
was gonna say, you mean their listeners?
Callers, yeah.
they're asking callers to call in. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? Wait.
No, it
Since
was-
when do they start taking calls?
I know. And then you hear the chick in the background go, "Oh, are you kidding?"
Come on, guys.
And so then the caller does his thing, right? The caller leads the
Makes
whole
up a
conversation,
story,
makes
sure.
up a story.
Yep.
And then the one guy, I think the freak, then reenacts it, where
Oh,
you just
yeah.
heard the story.
Right.
But he reenacts it in a funny voice.
And then Dave absolutely. loses his
shit.
How does he not have an aneurysm like once a
Dude,
week?
It's so bad.
What was the? I need to know what the topic was. That
I
we're
think it was
reenacting.
people who got fucked over like through internet purchases or something like that. Like people were calling in and I bought this thing on Craigslist and it turned out to be bullshit or I don't know.
How do you reenact that? I'd love to know. Like,
Dude. Just some guy will call in. Yeah, so I met my old lady. Met my old lady on Craigslist, and we've got a kid now. And he'll be like, yeah, so on Craigslist, I met this chick, and I married her. Yeah.
I ordered what I thought was a pair of Nikes. I got a pair of Mikey's.
Mikey's. Fuck, dude. Do these people not know there's other shit to listen to?
No.
That's it, right?
You know what it is, Jay? I'll be honest with you. I'm saddened for people in Metro.
They're better than this.
Look, listen, they are better than this. Why would you listen to something so fucking bad? I'm sorry. Again, nice guys. I hear they're nice guys. I don't care.
Yeah, I've heard that. I have no idea.
Yeah. I don't know them at all. Sure,
I've also heard they're dicks.
Have you?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I honestly, I can't say one way or the other. I seriously don't know them. What I do know is there were...
You know what I've heard? I've heard that they've got huge rabbit ears on social media.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That doesn't
if
shock me at
If
all.
you criticize them, they freak
no.
out.
I was banned by them freaking 3 years ago on Twitter
Yeah.
when I was like,
They're super
Have we
sensitive.
banned anybody ever?
No.
I wouldn't give a shit if they wanted to come tweet at me and say
No.
something. Like, I'd be happy to keep talking back and forth.
They won't, though. They're
I
too
know.
afraid.
What I know is around the country...
They won't engage
there are-
with you, E.
Boston, too. Oh, you gotta remember.
There are
Boston,
only
too.
a handful of spots in the country where you can find actually really, really good radio at that hour, right? There just were. There was the Drew and Mike's, there was Opie and Anthony, Howard, obviously, and there's others. And like Kansas City had a good show, San Diego had a really good show for a while, San Francisco had one, but not everywhere. It's not everywhere that you're finding great talent doing great original radio.
So in the meantime,
And so-
they shoehorn shit in.
Well, no,
And
my
tell you
my
it's
point
great.
is people in Detroit know what fucking great radio is. They don't know how good they had it for 22 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not because I work there, and I'm not saying listeners of that show should listen to us. I don't give a fuck. Maybe we suck to them too. I don't care, whatever. But there's really good shit out there available, and I'm shocked that people would go, oh yeah, I listened to Drew and Mike for all these years, and yeah, this is right. This is what I listen to now.
This
This is it now.
right up my alley.
This is good shit.
Yeah, just dovetailed perfectly.
Really? I would think people would be
Completely
so...
different show. It's completely color driven, and it's fucking trash.
I've said it
Yeah.
before, and I'll say it again, dude. I instantly, if I'm at like a party or something with a gathering, and someone says that they listen to David Chuck, and then they say they're fucking hilarious. I've heard people go like, dude, they're.
Do you
and
have
I'm like,
respect for them?
yes, that's my
Absolutely.
point. Like, I literally
Yeah,
do.
I
Like,
do.
only because I want. And then I try to tell them what is funny. Please tell me the funny part,
Dude, that show
Well,
they could
penis is
could
funny.
replay something from 8 weeks ago, 3 years ago. They could replay as tomorrow's show, and you'd have no idea because
Yeah.
it's just evergreen. I guess it's just hilarious to have people call up and say what they put in their ass yesterday.
And maybe that's what it is, to have no social commentary, to have no original thought, no, none of those talents that
I bet they can't do it.
probably not. And so maybe it's just like like a good book on the shitter, where it's like, you know what, I can read these 3 pages,
Yep.
take a shit, put it down, and it doesn't matter where you picked up, where you left off. It's just shitter read. You're gonna get some crazy laughs. By the way, that laugh is your cue, everybody. You're supposed to laugh along. Like,
Oh,
when
shit.
you hear that, it's like, oh fuck, that is hilarious. Look how hard he's laughing.
I want to see. I'd love to sit in there like a fly in the wall, like not them know you were there, but like sit there and see it all really
Unfold.
unfold. Like,
See the magic happen. Eve? Is
because
that
like
what you want to do?
I think Mike's tried to make 3. Like, Mike's made a few jokes today, and I didn't
Yeah,
laugh at any
I
of them.
know.
I don't think. like,
That'd be good,
The
man.
lack of joke support in this room is criminal. There is some funny shit said on the show, and all of us are like, "Fuck you! I'm not giving
I'm
you that."
very used to it. I'm
dude,
very used to it because Gab never laughs at me.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well,
I could
it's-
say the most hilarious shit, and I'll identify it for her. That was hilarious.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
see how clever that was? And she'll just look
she's
at me like,
"Ugh."
dude,
She's
you
been
gotta come
around you too
stronger than
long.
that.
And see, when you don't laugh at my jokes and E doesn't laugh at mine, I'll be like, I'll be goddamn if I'm going to laugh at any fucking thing you guys say. Forget it. I know that was really fucking funny what I said 10 minutes ago, and both of you just went,
I'll laugh if it's funny.
You sleep well at night knowing that, right?
I know it was funny, god damn it. And all I get out of this room is an occasional, ugh. How long were you thinking about that one? Did you plan that one out last night?
That was
did you?
wordplay. I wrote it down in my story
Wordplay,
right
yeah.
here.
You strip apart any sort of like you tell the listeners like By the way, if you're laughing in your car right now, stop. Stop. You don't go, oh, yeah, I get that was funny. Jay really laughed at that. Look at him right now.
Hey, I say
Don't mute your mic. Don't mute your mic.
I say, like, when I go to open mics, man, I don't like comedians that won't laugh at other comics. I laugh when things make me laugh.
Yeah.
That's
And only when they make you laugh.
But I have no problem. I will never, out of spite, not laugh.
Yeah.
Or give courtesy laughs. But I guess shows have to do that because, as Mike said, that's a cue to the audience then that this is a hilarious show, hilarity abounds.
Yeah.
And it's your time to laugh with us.
And it works when it's when it's done right, when it's true and authentic.
They suck.
There's no way you can listen to us discover whatever Friday thing.
Oh, Eggplant Friday.
Eggplant Friday when we get hit with a man's ass with a dick not in an ass but buried in an ass. And when that comes up and we realize we just rickrolled ourselves with that and we're laughing so hard, like you can't help but laugh. Dude, shaved orangutan. When we're looking at the shaved orangutan and I'm losing my shit, like that's real. You can't fake laughing like that. And so that will make people laugh, I think. I don't know how we got there.
You're talking about iHeartRadio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that they're bankrupt, so.
Yeah.
Good luck, radio!
Yeah. Well, no, all we got to do is just fire all of our sales staffs and everything will be fine. That's all we need to do is just cut our sales staffs. That'll fix everything. And then what we do is we just hire one DJ and have them voice track the whole 24 hours.
Oh, you've been automated.
Oh, no. All we got to do is pay them $8 an hour. That's fine. Saved radio. Did you? Good luck with that. iHeart. Anyways, they did have their big awards, and Eminem was there. And he was doing Nowhere Fast from, I guess that's on his newest album. And he couldn't take it anymore. I figured he's going to go after Trump, which he does a lot, but he went after the NRA instead, which I find horribly ironic. Seeing as, I don't know how many murders have been committed on his albums, and gun cocks and shotguns and drive-bys. Like, dude.
I'm a criminal? Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
It's like, I mean, that's fine. I loved it when I listened to it, but it's like, really? You're
it's
gonna
his way to
attack me?
relevancy, dude. He can't do what he did, so now he has to just pretend, whether it's pretend or not, he has to all of a sudden be this guy who's, I guess, anti-drugs or anti-guns and anti-anything conservative. I don't really know. I never ever remember his beliefs at all coming in, really, for the most part.
No, and that's the smart way to do it. But he figures this is, you're probably right. You know, going after Trump, you're trying to tap into millennials by going after the NRA.
Right.
You go and get high school kids. See if do you want to hear it? It's just the intro of the song. It's not that long, but.
Sometimes I don't know what this world has come to. It's blowing up. This whole country is going nuts, and the NRA is in our way. They're responsible for this whole production. They hold the strings to control the puppets. And they threaten to take away donor bucks, so they know the government won't do nothing, and no one's punching. Gun owners clutching their loaded weapons. They love their guns more than our children.
Oh man, they love their guns more than our children.
Oh, man.
Well, that stinks.
Gun owners hate kids. You know that, Mike.
Jay, you like your guns. Do you like them more than your kids?
I don't.
Yeah. The NRA is in our way. They're responsible for this whole production. They hold the strings. They control the puppets. They threaten to take away donor bucks, so they know the government won't do
Mike,
nothing.
we already heard it
and nobody's
once
punching.
from the
I'm trying to
master.
see if I could have a career too.
Yeah.
Acapella version. Gun owners clutching the loaded weapon. They love the guns more than the children. Weapon and children doesn't really rhyme, but you know the way he does it. Mm-hmm. It's door hinge and orange. You know, that kind of thing. So smart. Can't rhyme any word with
Not
orange.
with orange.
Wanna bet? Door hinge with an orange. There.
Bam.
Just did it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I like Eminem. I want to like Eminem. I love Eminem.
Yeah, he's in this weird spot right now, as we've talked about.
Spot.
You know, where he's trying to stay relevant.
Yeah.
Hate to say it
You
like
gonna say
that,
fag again, Eminem?
Oh, no.
Gonna kill homos again, or what? I mean,
All that stuff didn't matter when I was doing it. All that matters is now how I feel.
No,
Gotcha.
he's pioneering right now into this age range. We've discussed it.
Right,
Where
I know.
nobody really has done it, and most of these guys who were superstars fold out into production or into movies or whatever, and he's plowing forward.
Well, it's kind of sad because,
It's a young man's game.
dude, it is. It just is. You don't want to hear a new song by Paul McCartney. Admit it. You want to hear when he was 30 writing songs. You want to hear Eminem at 26 blasting everybody. You don't want to hear a 45-year-old guy venting about whatever.
Yeah.
Who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. It just doesn't have that feel. What I find sad is, though, like, everybody knows that. Artists know that. When it is what it is. It's a quick game, and you make what you can. He'll go down as one of the greatest rappers to ever walk the planet, period. I don't care what color he is. He's brilliant. And the fact that he worries and he writes songs questioning his own talents, it's like, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, you won bigger than anyone. You don't need credibility. You don't need anything. Fuck the haters. You don't need any of that shit. You've already done it all. That's the part that's sad to me, because I know it bothers him. Fucking bothers him. That's too bad. But
So you're saying he should hang it up or just keep going doing what he wants?
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but it sucks that he reads comments online and fucking it bothers him. It's like, dude, you can't get any more success than you got. You know it's not going to last forever. The kids are going to call you old man like you did to Moby when you were 25 and he was 35. You know? He was an old man. You fucking ruined the guy. Now you're older than Moby.
36. Nobody listens to techno.
Bald-headed fag, Moby, blow me. Something like that. We got a Republican candidate for the main house. Not the main house, like as if there's a smaller house. I mean like Maine.
M-A-I-N-E.
And E. Yeah, that main house. Look at this turd. Look at that poops.
Looks like a Republican from Maine.
Doesn't he?
Running for the House.
Fucking hate these. I think there's a lot of Republicans who are kind of getting cock of the walk attitude. Because, well, it worked for Trump, so maybe I can just be bombastic and stupid and say dumb shit. It's like, no.
He's a one-off, man. They broke the mold.
He is a total one-off. Leslie Gibson. Leslie Gibson does not get to go on Twitter and go, there's nothing about this skinhead lesbian that impresses me. And there's...
Talking about the Parkland shooting victim.
Emma Gonzalez, yeah.
Well, not victim, but, well, what did we decide about that? She's a survivor, right?
I mean,
School shooting survivor?
She was in Parkland, Florida, when the shooting happened. Okay. So I don't know what that. As far as in the building where the shooting happened, no, technically no, she was in another building. But
she's more of a Parkland shooting survivor than we are 9/11 survivors.
Right.
Look at that guy.
Look
at
Leslie
that poops.
Gibson.
Leslie.
He took that picture, and then he looked at that picture and went, "Yep, that's the one.
That's the one. Yeah.
That's the one we're going with.
It's going to be my profile pic."
Yeah, got my hair parted perfectly, my cool hip glasses like Big E, and rosy cheeks. There's something puffy about the cheeks, nose, and chin that's bothering me. Because it's not like fat guy. It's like bee sting cheeks or something. You know what I mean?
He's puffy. Yeah.
Just a little bit. There's nothing about that skinhead lesbian that impresses me, and there's nothing to say unless you're frothing at the mouth, Moonbat. I don't even know what that means. He also called David Hogg, a bald-faced liar, which is good. Anytime you can attack 17-year-old students, looks good. People are going to like that. And, of course, Twitter reacted a little negatively to that. And so he gets some backlash, and then, I just sincerely apologize. I called her a bald-headed lesbian and him a bald-faced liar. I sincerely apologize.
He did this in a tweet or Facebook post?
Yeah.
Wow.
He took to Twitter to sincerely apologize for the homo remark I made. It was inappropriate to single out these students regardless of whether I agree with their message or not. I took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States during my military career. Gotta let us know that he's a hero of some sort. To me, that oath has no expiration date. However, my passion for defending our rights must be tempered with civility. That did not happen in this instance.
I would agree with him.
Yeah, and then we had to do that. I guess I'll delete my Twitter account now.
Can't handle it.
Yeah.
Can't be trusted.
See, Trump wouldn't do that part. You know what makes Trump Trump is he'd go, if I eat it, I don't care.
Yeah.
She is a bald-headed lesbian. Look at her, probably going down on Hillary as we speak. Pocahontas, build a wall.
Yeah, Pocahontas was in the news, too.
Oh,
huh?
fuck yes. I loved that, her interview. by the way. And I don't know what to make of this. Emma Gonzalez, for the record, identifies as a Cuban bisexual. So, and
In fact, she is a bald-headed lesbian.
Half lesbian, at least, right? I shouldn't have said that.
It was said with vitriol, Mike. I think we can agree.
It was meant to sting. It was. Yeah, speaking of Pocahontas, you mentioned... dude, did you see the interview that she did?
I did not see it. I read about it.
It was awesome because there was an article in a very liberal paper up in her neck of the woods.
Elizabeth Warren, of course.
Yes, Elizabeth Warren, who Trump is calling Pocahontas all the time. And what's the story? She checked off a box when she was trying to become a professor at Harvard.
Yeah.
And that box said that she was a minority and that she had percent of Indian in her. She's given some recipes.
Native American, Mike, please.
Right, sorry. She's given recipes to Indian cookbook.
Native American.
Native American, yes. That they found came from like a New York Times cookbook. Exact recipes. So, well, you know, whatever. So this media outlet challenged her to take a DNA test. I kind of want to take one of those.
Do you?
Yeah. Do you have any interest
Make
in
sure
that?
Bob's your dad.
No, I'm not concerned about that. But I'd like to know if, like, how far back you go. If it's like, dude, you were like, your family was Nazis. Or your family was X.
Is your DNA going to show you that?
I don't know. Yeah, fuck yeah.
That
Remember?
Nazi
Oh, you'd have to go to
DNA. gonna have
ancestry.com or something to do more. Like DNA is just going to.
The Nazi
I don't think
strand
it's
of
not going
DNA.
to show you that.
I think it will.
I think he's got part Nazi in him. I would agree. I would probably.
Maybe. Should I feel bad about that, though? Should
What are
feel
you even
bad
talking
about?
about? He is exactly right. Your DNA is not going to show that you're a Nazi.
You could go, like I said, you could go to ancestry.com and like start building. Like,
Yeah. Well, that's what they're going to do with her, isn't it? Isn't that
That's
what they're talking
different.
about?
Those are different.
Remember
things.
what's his name was so bummed out, Ben Affleck, when they found out he had some Nazi in his genes in his past.
Well, that's like genealogy, right? They branched out his tree. They
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah,
but
look
it's not the
scientifically
DNA.
at his DNA.
Yeah. Well, whatever. You're right. And they found out that he was like a Nazi back in the day, family member.
So did he apologize to everybody?
Dude, he didn't want that included in the episode he was doing. He wanted it cut from the episode.
What episode?
He was doing
There's
a
a show
special
on NBC.
for
They do a
the
show.
ancestry thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they
For
found that out.
celebrities.
And it's like,
Oh,
you sit
poor
down with him, and
Benjamin.
it's like, well, did you know that your great grandfather
Yeah, that's awful, man.
was a patriot and fought in the blah blah blah? And you're like, well, yes. And it's like, you, Affleck.
Well, yeah, I found out.
Your
I think,
sucks.
Yeah.
I think my mom's been looking into this a lot recently, so I don't really know what this means. But I found out that I think technically I could like apply to be like a son of shit. Now I don't remember the name.
No,
of
you
it.
got this, E. Finish your thought.
Son of the Revolution or some shit like that. Like there's daughters and sons
I think
of the
she meant
Revolution.
son of a bitch.
No, and so like I don't think it means anything necessarily, but like technically there's like if you go back enough, I have a relative that was in the war.
Revolutionary
Yeah,
So
something to
he
do with the revolution.
says. Anybody
mom
can say that.
Look, I haven't looked into shit, but my mom has spent like several hours over the last year or two going over this.
I thought you
ancestry
guys were
bullshit.
straight up Finnish or some shit.
There's
No?
different people come from different sides. My dad it could be from my dad's side.
Okay.
My mom's side did come from Finland and
Nana
Yeah.
was Finnish, right? Well, this is what I heard before you go further with the DNA. I heard that you can have DNA, you can have Native American DNA, and you can take a test and it may not show. Like you can have.
Don't give her an out like that.
No, I'm all right. I'm just okay. Forget what I said.
No, go ahead.
No, really, I heard scientifically there are reasons why if you're part German, part Native American, whatever, there are portions of your DNA that just might not show up like that. It might show that you're
Really?
yeah, 100% whatever.
Do you think that's I mean that's awful if it's like holy fuck how that sucks. My family was involved with the Nazi brigade, Hitler's shenanigans back in the day. But do you think that's something where Ben Affleck should be
All right, we're back to genealogy.
right? I know it's the same thing, but I just wanted to follow up on that because you were like, oh man, it's like Ben Affleck was born into he had nothing to do with that though. I mean,
Of
it
course
sucks,
he didn't.
But should he be shamed for that? Honestly, I mean,
No, he personally shouldn't be shamed, but would you probably feel bad? You'd be like, oh shit, man, that kind of sucks that I come from that
yeah,
breed.
I don't know. I'm kind of fascinated to like own it. Like, dude, was I part of some Viking?
Dude, there are people who
warlord
are the consequence
1,000 years
of
ago,
a rape. I mean, that would and they live with it. Like
Yeah.
that would be hard
Yeah.
to live with, I assume. But the further you go back, I'm sure the farther removed that you feel, and it's
Yeah.
not that big a deal to you.
Yeah. Well, anyway, back to Pocahontas. So this paper wanted her to come out. It's the do the ancestry thing, and the Berkshire Eagle. They've asked Warren to complete the test as a way to put an end to the chatter about the whole family thing. And their point was, it's a piece titled "Our Opinion: Warren Must Resolve Debate on Heritage," where she were she to test positive for Native American DNA, it would permanently resolve the issue. Should the test come up negative, it would be an opportunity for the senator to perform an act rarely seen among politicians, an admission of her error, full-throated apology to Native American tribes and anyone else offended by her claims. I think that's fair. Why not? But so a couple of the morning shows.
What if she truly believes that she's Native American? Like, what if, you know how, like E just said, his mom has told him he's a son of the American Revolution.
I'm looking at this, by the way, and it doesn't look as if this is what she said, it doesn't look as cool as what I. It looks like it's just a group of people that was formed around the centennial of America, just trying to preserve the.
Anybody can join for a $10
well, no,
fee.
I do remember. No, I do remember flat out. She said you had to have some lineage to something, but it looks like it's more just a group of people that are trying to like. The centennial was coming up of the country, and they're just trying to preserve the American heritage. So it's like just a group of people.
Gotcha.
Trying to
They'll
like
take anybody at this point.
No, again, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it was just there though, founded to like remind people how good America was or something.
You know what's funny, dude? If we did an ancestry tree with E, it would probably come back that he's got ties to like Newton and Einstein. You know what I mean? It would be some weird branch. You'd be like, what? He's got like he's got royalty in his bloodline somewhere and genius
probably some
elsewhere.
incest though that set it all off. You know,
yeah, blew
gave
the thing
him that
up.
extra chromosome.
Well, they were all ancestral back then.
No, but
back in the Middle Ages.
My point is, like, what if, like, E is being told that he's a son of the American Revolution, and he tells his kid, oh, God forbid he had a kid, but he tells his kid, you know, that we're sons
he tells
of the American...
a nephew or a niece, okay?
Whatever. The idea is, it's your family going, we
I
descend
don't know,
directly.
someone looked into this.
We descend directly from this, and so then you're asked to check a box at some point. You know, do you descend from somebody in the American Revolution? And you're like, yeah.
And so my mom said. I know, I get what you're saying, and you're probably right. But if you're going for political office and all this stuff, and you look at the way Elizabeth Warren does,
I know, but what
you have
isn't
to
that
know you're
balls?
gonna be
Isn't
called
that
on it?
balls to do if you haven't been told that your whole life? Like, isn't it more plausible that she was told that and believed it?
Maybe.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's pretty fucking balls to just go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Eskimo. I'm gonna go Jew and American Indian.
Well,
and that'll get me that job.
It was such politician speak. It was so funny. You know how they do that? Let me tell you. They're going to pull on heartstrings and tell you a nice familial story.
Yeah.
And so the people are like, the bald eagle or whatever wants you to take this test and clear everything up once and for all, or just run around as Pocahontas and we can be confused forever. What do you say?
Yeah.
And she's like, I want to tell you a story.
Oh,
like,
no.
oh,
Like, gather
no.
around, kids.
Oh, no. You can't just say, no, fuck off. Or, yeah, that's a great idea. I think I'll do that. I want to tell you a story about my mommy and my daddy.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. My mother, Little Feather, and my daddy, Running Bear. I added that. But we're born and raised in Oklahoma, Jay.
Okies.
My daddy, and she's saying
Dust
daddy.
Bowl, Mike?
Oh,
Is she going to go Dust Bowl?
We'll get to the Dust Bowl. My daddy first saw mother when they were teenagers. Crazy love for one another. And, you know, people in their living rooms just going, oh, the young love. She knows she's got him now. Crazy love for one another. But there was a problem. His family was bitterly opposed to their relationship because she was part Native American. They eventually eloped and survived the Great Depression, and
the Dust Bowl.
Goddamn right they did. They raised my three brothers, all of whom headed off to the military to serve this great land, and me.
She's got all these, look at the shiny objects in that story.
Dude, I was just looking for a simple yes or no. Like, will you take the test? Let me tell you a story. My daddy and my mommy. And then
Daddy and Mommy love each other dearly. They're star-crossed lovers because one is half Native American, and they're going against the family. That's wow, oh my gosh, that's so emotional. She throws in the military thing. They survived. They survived the Dust Bowl, the depression. I mean, survivors.
Yeah, it's all there, man.
So
it's part of me, and nobody is going to take that part away from me, not ever.
So who in their right mind, let's assume she's in her right, who in their right mind would say that and say, like, my mommy was half Native American or part Native American? Again, why would you keep going back to this well if you don't really believe it?
Well, she's in now. I mean, there's no backing out of that now. My question is, like, could you go to one of your brothers on the sly and just go, dude, will you take this fucking test? Take this ancestry test. If it comes back that we're Native American, I'll publicly take it, and then we're good. But if it comes back that this was bullshit,
why doesn't she just send it in as Jane Doe, do one herself?
Well, I don't know. I'm always thinking, like, I don't know how that would work. But if they've got on record her DNA that was done, and it's like someone will dig somewhere and find that, someone at the lab, will rat her out. But if she's got another unknown family member take it, and then it's like, aha, we're 4%, Indian, Native American. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be a way to
if it
find
comes
out
good,
without.
You release it. If it doesn't, it's sort of like the polygraph, right? For a
yeah.
criminal defendant. I'll take that and just take it on the sly.
If the test doesn't come out well, and maybe she's done this already, maybe her brother Scott or whatever has taken this test, and she knows, and that's why we go, let me tell you a little story.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have to do that thing.
No, really, I read somewhere that the science is such that somebody could have their DNA test and it will not show certain ancestry.
She's going to quote you someday when she's on the stand.
I heard on the Detroit Cast, episode 1019.
There are cases, this was from a lawyer, folks. There are cases when it just doesn't show up. It's like a false positive. Clearly, that's what happened here.
That guy read it somewhere.
Cite your sources, Pocahontas. Detroit Cast of the Detroit Cast.
He claims he read it somewhere.
So Saturday, he was up there Trump was just going back and forth on the stage. Pocahontas this. He was talking about how fucking awesome he is. And it's like, these media people, imagine if they had to cover Bernie or Pocahontas, God forbid. Oh, man, you'd all be asleep.
Well, she did say she's not running, right, in 2020?
Yeah.
That's the big news.
Well, yes, that's what she said. But how many of them have said that? No, that's absurd. I'm not going to run. You know what I mean? People will say that right up until the day they announce. So I don't put much stock in that. But
yeah, she'll keep polling.
The senator
see if the Pocahontas thing hurts her.
Yeah, right. He's pointed out that you don't even claim membership in a tribe. What kind of Native American are you, Pocahontas? And so she calls that a racial slur. I don't know why that's a racial slur, but whatever.
Pocahontas?
Yeah.
Kind of is, man. I mean, I can see her argument. It's sort of like calling a black dude a little black Sambo or something. It's a caricature. Yes, it's a historical figure.
Yeah.
But he's using a caricature to call her out.
Yeah. I guess, but wouldn't it be the same as if you went, oh yeah, man, I'm a sweet race car driver. I drive. I'm a great driver. And you went, all right, Dale Earnhardt. You know what I mean? Like, how is it different from something like that?
It's so different.
How? Because it says Pocahontas. She's claiming Native American heritage.
The issue
but
is
he's not
race.
using it like
the
that.
issue is race. It's not race car driving.
And you always,
but is Pocahontas bad?
You always
if
context
Pocahontas
matters,
was a
right?
piece of shit, then it would be like, oh yeah.
But that's how Trump is using it.
I think Pocahontas is an Indian princess.
Yes, exactly.
But that's not how Trump is using it. That's not how he's using it, dude.
How is
you
he
know
using
that. He's using it as it's a joke.
It's a derogatory.
He's using it as a joke, as in, you are not Pocahontas, you moron. Look at you. You're as white gets, and you've advanced your career by you claiming this status that's reserved
it's a trigger,
for Native
Mike.
Americans.
It's a trigger.
Well, it is for her. And so she wanted to go high. When they go low, we go high. And so she decided to go high and say,
look at his hair. Well, look at his stupid hair.
Looks like a bird's nest, weirdo. So she said, I want to turn the incident into a positive and try and lift up other people to tell their stories. And I'm going to do that right now. And I want your opinion, Jay. I'm gonna read you a handful of sentences now, and you tell me where she turned this into a positive and uplifted people. Okay?
Go.
More than half of Native American women in this country have been victims of sex violence. More than half of them are attacked by non-natives. The American government is doing nothing about this. This is fundamentally wrong. This is a group that is being injured every single day. We need to bring some attention to it. We need to put some resources on it.
There you go, man. Awareness, attention.
Native women are subjected to sexual violence at rates much higher than any other group in the country. We need to put some focus on this, and we need to make some great changes on this.
How many are we talking about here?
Dude,
How many are left?
My note says to ask you. I wrote myself a little notation to ask you.
Legit, how many
Ever seen
Native American women are left?
I actually wrote, ever see an Indian woman, Native American woman around? Like, I can't, honestly. Maybe if you go west before you get, when you
On the reservations, sure.
Yeah, once you get on the Trail of Tears area and shit like that, before you get to the coasts.
I recently saw a Canadian Native woman.
Canadian.
Right.
Dude.
I mean, they're out there. They're on reservations, sure, but what are we talking about?
Outside of the
Elizabeth?
casino.
I was gonna say I see them at the casino when I go.
The pit bosses.
Stereotyping, right?
I know.
Am I righty?
And I
No
realize
place
that I'm
for stereotypes.
I realize that I'm being mean.
As if they're all drunk all the time.
Right, of course.
Why would you even
Yeah,
think
stop
that?
that.
Jesus
Come on, Isis.
Christ, E. Not going to help the cause by saying things like that. Yeah, I didn't know this was going on. If you're out there raping Native American women, would you fucking knock it off?
Isn't there a fence around those reservations?
Usually, but it's when she says it's half of those are done by non-natives, she means whites, right?
That's what I mean. Don't they have a big fence or something? I can picture it. It's made of like logs,
White
like chopped
devils,
down logs.
dude.
and
Don't
big totem
underestimate.
pole outside the front of it.
Don't underestimate what a white devil is capable of. You know what I mean? White devils are capable of atrocious things, and they'll find a way to rape and pillage if they so choose.
You
I
go,
think that's what she's
go
pointing
inside
out.
that little log wall, and there's teepees. And you
Yeah, there's all types of stuff.
can picture it.
Hey, going back, I when I was reading that Eminem story about the NRA and stuff, and I know we love having the gun discussion and whatnot, but I started to Bing. How rare are school shootings? Like how much of this is fear in the media? How much is reality? It's like shark attacks. Like you are desperately afraid of being attacked by a shark, and the fact of the
worst
matter
fear
is,
ever.
you have a better chance of being killed by your own refrigerator.
But it
attacking
happens,
you.
Mike.
I know.
And when it does, it hits the news.
And so
Bigly.
I did some
It's
hard-hitting
gross.
research.
The notion that another being is eating me.
I know. And that's what they say. It's not that you died, because you're not afraid of lightning strikes the same way.
Correct.
It's the
Being
thought of, oh
munched
my
on.
God, I'm being eaten.
Yes.
It's that fear that drives it. And so I read a fascinating
Attack from
article.
below!
You just never saw it coming.
No.
The first recorded school shooting. Anyone care to guess when that was? Isis J.
I don't know, Mike. You tell me.
1840. Son of a bitch.
Jesus, give us some context. What was going on in 1840-ish?
I
We're 25 years out from the Civil War.
True.
I imagine dust was everywhere. A lot of dust.
A lot of dust.
A
Dirt.
lot of unsmiling faces. And a simple cold would wipe out a village.
A lot of sarsaparilla.
Hell yeah. Fucking law student, of course. How far advanced was the law in 1840?
How do you answer that?
What do you mean?
I mean, like, was it like, he stole my horse, and then it's like, well, you owe him 2 daughters now. I said 2 daughters.
Think Western times, Mike. Stereotypical Westerns.
So they pull out guns and shoot each other in the
Yeah.
courthouse? Well, this law student shot and killed his professor at the University of Virginia. But the modern fear dawned of school shootings April 20th, 1999. You will remember Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris killed 12 students and a teacher at Columbine. Since then, the murder of children in their classrooms has come to seem common, regular feature of modern American life. And our fears so strong that we are certain the next horror is sure to come not long after the last. So now here's some statistical
So you're going to make
facts
this
for you.
argument that we shouldn't do dick about it, right? 'Cause
Not
it
saying that at
barely
all.
happens.
No. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just
I feel it going that way. Don't you, Isis?
I do.
Aren't you
I'm
interested
okay with
to
this.
know,
I'm
like-
okay with this because I do think that probably what he'll say is that it's not even close
We
to
should
as
play a
often
game.
as we
Predict
think they
where
are.
Mike is going with this.
you guys always think I'm an asshole.
No, I was
I'm
on your
not.
side, right? Did you hear me? I was on your side.
I did. I hardly listened to you, but I heard you that time.
I heard him
understand.
chirping about something.
So here's just the facts, and this is from the Washington Post, man. You can't get a more liberal paper than the Washington Post. So They said roughly 50 million children attend public schools for roughly how many days per year would you guess?
Oh, Jesus.
Shit.
100?
120 at best.
180. So half the days.
Not in Lake Orion.
Since Columbine, approximately 200 public school students have been shot to death while school was in session. That includes Florida, and it also includes one last week where some kid accidentally shot a gun in some other school.
Would you say 200?
200.
Since 1999?
Yep. That means the statistical likelihood of any given public school student being killed by a gun in school on any given day since 1999 is roughly, and I say roughly, I'm not going to do it to the point whatever. Anyone care to guess what that number is? 1 in.
No.
1 in...
You got the C.
I'll say 1 in a million.
Keep in mind there's 350 million people in the country.
Yeah, I'll go 1 in a million.
You got
Okay.
the C.
All right. He essentially went $1. Do you
Too
want...
much time in the math room and not enough time learning the English language.
1 in 10 million.
He was the first to bid a price
I
at
didn't
the
wanna
Price
go
is
over.
Right, and he said $1.
Don't want to go over.
Yeah, I wasn't really listening to the numbers.
1 in
so I
10
can't even
million.
Can't even make a
Let's switch
judgment.
it.
Much closer. 1 in 614 million. Yeah. I know. The chance of a child being shot and killed in public school is extraordinarily low. Not zero, no risk is, but it's far lower than many people assume. It's far lower than almost any other mortality risk a kid faces, including traveling to and from school, catching a deadly disease while in school. How often does that happen? Is that a staph infection or something?
Yeah, maybe.
Or suffering a life-threatening injury playing sports. Research on the psychology of risk has found that few risks worry us more than threats to kids. Jay, you can attest to this. Parents who send their children to school each morning are relinquishing control over their safety. Lack of control makes any risk feel more threatening. Mistrust fuels fear. We don't really think about risk in terms of 1 in 10, 1 in 100, 1 in a million. The only thing we think is, my kid could be the one. We all know that feeling. So even the tiniest risk appears unacceptably high. That powerful combination of psychology or psychological characteristics moots any suggestion that fear of a certain risk is irrationally excessive. That's the thing about risk. We assess it less on the likelihood of the outcome and more on the emotional nature of the experience involved in getting to that outcome. And that's where he says the sharks.
Yeah.
He gets into sharks thing.
I mean, you can do that. You can take a population and go, oh, how many did it happen to, and look at what a rare chance. It's the context in which this risk is occurring in our fucking schools.
I know.
I mean, that's
I know.
where it becomes so unacceptable. Like,
Right.
it's like you say, you know, how many illegal immigrant crimes should we accept? Setting aside that they're already committing a crime by being here.
Right.
0, right? I mean, they're fucking.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
these people shouldn't be here. Well, it's the same thing here. Like, how many school shootings should we? Fucking 0. The fact
Yeah.
that 200 kids are killed in school since 1999 is astounding.
Well,
It's
there's-
astounding.
There's a bigger point.
And I'm not saying that the risk that I completely buy into what you're saying about
Right.
1 in 614 million or whatever, dude. That the fact that we're worried about at all that there's a risk at all that a kid could be shot at school shouldn't happen, man.
Well, there's a greater point to the story, and why I wanted to mention it, because my theme from the start of this show was fuck your media. Your media is what is. I can literally take anything negative in society and circle it back and go, oh yeah, that's why people feel that way about this race, because all they saw for 30 fucking years on their news was a black guy and fucking police lights. They didn't see Dr. Huxtable for 30 years. What they saw was anytime they saw a black kid, he was being arrested for something. He was being accused of something. That's what your news gave you. That's what your TV shows gave you. That's what your movies gave you. And so when you put things like that, it's like, and then you've got pockets all over the country where people just don't see many black people. They don't live amongst them. The only context they have is what TV said. What does the glow box say? People in New York are with, you know, they're mixed with everybody all the time. That irrational fear doesn't exist as bad. And that's why there's so many people on the coast who go, what the fuck is your problem, man? What are you worried about?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't think I'm a racist, but shit.
See, I follow you there, and I follow your general
To
statement.
accept?
I totally follow where you're going, but I think that the gun thing is not that I'm worried about letting my kid for the reasons that you say. Oh, we're being pummeled by it in the media, and this is being blown up to be a bigger problem than it is. I don't think that's what people are I think they're saying what I'm saying. Like, this should never happen in our schools.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta figure out why this is happening in our schools and stop this. I don't think it's that we're being struck by media day after day, a drip, 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 and now we're overblowing the risk.
Well,
I think we're just saying unacceptable.
It's unacceptable for children to go hungry at night, but we accept that dumb shit too in a country where that should never happen. There's lots of things that are awful that we just go, yeah, whatever, not my problem. I don't know why we do that, but we do.
So what are you saying then? We shouldn't try to do something about schools?
Look,
people are trying to feed the hungry.
Not at all. Not at all. And I don't want you to take that opinion. I'm simply reading a story as to why this happens and why the
And you're saying the media has overblown this. That media's overblown the importance of this.
Let me finish, and I hope it will explain.
I'd like
itself.
you to collect your thoughts on this, Mike. I feel like you haven't collected them. Collect them, Mike. I want to know what you think about this.
Far more kids are shot outside the school than in one. 7,100 a year between 2012 and 14, or 19 every day, compared with about 60 shootings at schools each year. Agreed. 60 times too many. I'm right there with you. Fear focused on military-style assault rifles diverts attention from the larger issue of gun control, which has much more to do with the lethality of guns generally than with what the machine looks like. Fear also leads us to do things in pursuit of safety that may do more harm than what we're afraid of in the first place. Think about the psychological effects on kids from all those lessons about when to run, how to hide, directions from their parents to call home if a shooting occurs. A few children have even brought guns to school saying they wanted to protect their classmates. What happens to children's ability to learn if they spend their time in the classroom wondering, even if only occasionally, who's going to burst in and open fire? What does the chronic stress do to their health? What do constant messages of potential danger in a place that's supposed to be safe do to their sense of security in the world? Fear of this extraordinarily rare risk is almost certainly doing far more overall harm than have the shootings themselves, horrendous as they are.
See, here's what I'll say. I'll say it a little bit differently than what I said it before. I don't think it's fear of this happening that's driving people. I think it's frustration that it's so solvable or seemingly solvable. Whereas your example about kids going hungry at night, dude, we're doing the best we can, right? We think, yeah, we throw money at it. It's not solvable. We'll always have poverty. Mm-hmm. But this, I think you're off the mark by focusing on fear. I don't think that's what people is driving them. It's not. I'm not fearful to send my kids. I really am not.
Yeah, I believe that.
A little bit anxious about it, sure. You think it could happen anywhere. But I think the frustration is that it's, fuck, dude, this is solvable. We should be able to figure this out, Mm-hmm. Why is this happening now? We've talked about it. What part do video games play? What part does the family breakdown play? What part does access to guns play? God, fuck, we should be able to solve this. This shouldn't happen. This should be zero.
Yeah. Well, it's a really complicated issue. And whenever a shooting like this happens, the whole country explodes, and it's you want kids murdered or you love your kids so much. Like it's guns are the thing, blah, 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 blah. And the point to that was keep in mind what your media does, like where they make their money. They sensationalize, they blow up, they put way more time and attention on something than it deserves when you put it in context of the real scheme of things. And when you watch that stuff like we do, the news, and read it, it makes the world look like a very, very dark. You say it to me all the time. Dude, get outside. Go for a fucking walk. And when you focus on that stuff, it makes the world look very, very dark, hateful, and evil. And if that's what kids and families are seeing all night, there's a tendency to overreact and overdo things that isn't healthy and isn't right either. Now, is there tremendous research on this? Probably not, but it makes sense. It does make sense. And I'm not saying that you don't do anything about the school things. You're right. Dude, it's absurd that any child should go to... Dude, if we could protect fucking assholes in Hollywood on a red carpet with guns, and people, you'll hear people say, look, anything we give a shit about in this country, which we protect with guns. We do it with our banks. We do it with our Hollywood stars.
The fight over this issue right now is its perceived solvability. The left thinks it's through gun control.
Yeah.
We can solve this. It's guns. And every time something like this happens, they point to the accessibility of guns. And then the other side has to accept, well, fuck, man, our gun did play a huge role in that. But they push back in other ways and say, hold on, don't take Take away Second Amendment rights. Let's solve this a different way. So I just disagree. I think what the media is doing is certainly taking advantage, and it is a TV show. All these media shows are TV shows.
Right.
But I think they're taking advantage of the two sides' inability to solve it and come together and solve it. I
Something
don't,
that should
don't
be
think,
solvable.
Yeah, and I just don't think that. Yeah, fear's a component. You know, they play off that, and that's how they promote their TV shows, and that's how you
But
stay
you're more
interested.
reasonable than a lot of people, Jay. You have to admit. There's a lot of people with irrational fear that coddle their child that are going to be scared as balls.
Yeah, they may be. That fear is used by one side to pull them in a direction. Certainly,
Yep.
I would agree with that. But I don't think fear is the essence of this thing. I think it's both sides going, we can solve this, and they're just not agreeing on how to solve it,
Yeah. Well,
and they never will.
and then it turns into a. You're right. It turns into a pop culture thing, and Eminem is now on award shows for bankrupt companies, talking about how the NRA hates kids and wants them dead. It's like, really?
Yeah, that's
Name one NRA member that's gone on a fucking shooting spree, Marshall. What are you talking about? That is such a broad and simplistic view of a very complex issue. And I watched a special yesterday on Adam Lanza. There's very little out there on
That
Adam.
creepy little dude.
Yeah.
Oh, he's creepy.
And Nancy Lanza. Nancy
Bing
his mom.
Lanza. Wow, what a creepy looking dude.
Dude, that picture of him,
All gaunt.
ugh. And here's a kid who was just, his parents got divorced in like 01 or 09, but separated in 01, and so he did really well though. The dad. I
Oh
know.
God, he's evil. He killed himself, right?
Yeah. he
Thank
did.
God, he can't come get me.
Yeah, he can't. He cannot come get
He
you.
can't hurt me.
No, he can't haunt you in your nightmare.
Shit, man. I think that's who they modeled Slender Man after. I swear
Yeah.
to God, that little fucking kid.
Imagine that little shit walking to your school with a gun.
Dude,
Oh,
I just picture like waking up in the middle of the night, looking over to the side, and there he is. Ah! God, that kid freaks me out, man.
but the documentary on this was, one of the papers up there in Connecticut was trying really hard, and nobody would talk. These people don't want to talk to the press, so they had to gain the trust of these people and find people who were friends with Nancy Lanza. And what was she like? What was Adam like?
Yeah.
And it turns out, like, all we've ever heard is, he's got fucking what covering his windows, like black garbage bags.
Right, blacked out his room,
insane.
just sitting there playing first-person shooter games.
and mama is just an enabling cunt who, blah, blah, blah. It turns out Nancy, they say, was an amazing mother who raised two kids, had lifelong problems with Adam, was not unaware of what he was dealing with. I can't remember what the one clinical diagnosis was, but the second was Asperger's.
Probably not that unlike Mrs. Fady.
Very much
Hi,
so.
Mrs. Fady,
Hi,
by the
Mrs. Fady. Good to see you. But this, she'd put this kid in class, special class. He was in special classes.
Doing her best.
And people would work there, and she was there 2-3 times a day, blah, 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 blah. And
Special school already? Didn't she go in some
we
special
had 8th
school?
grade outside. We didn't
Yeah.
get graded.
I'm not.
Second, 8th grade?
giving
Don't,
into any
yeah,
of that
don't
bullshit,
do it. He's
so
he's poking you.
I'm
He's
not
poking
worried
you.
about it.
Montessori, right?
He's needling.
Headed over to Montessori for a few years.
Don't
there?
take it.
I'm not going to.
Either jump to the end where you go, "Fuck you, dude."
I don't believe in all that negative
don't-
bullshit, man.
don't-
So.
Oh, sorry,
wow.
Isis.
Oh boy.
We're in EDM mode, aren't we,
All right.
Isis? You got a show coming up, man?
I'm not getting
I'll
into
back
that
out of
negative
this one.
bullshit.
You guys clearly have some unresolved issues.
Negative
I'm not gonna
vibes,
sit there.
man.
I'm not
I'm not
gonna
going to
sit there.
accept your negative vibes.
I'm not going to.
But then
You've been talking to the Turtle family
No, I'm
recently?
not.
E? Got the Turtle family on blast over there on Facebook?
No,
Needle, needle, needle. Needle, needle, needle.
Hi, Mrs. Fady.
Hi, Mrs. Baby. She's going to be the one that bursts in here one day and blows us away, by the way. You realize that, right? She's
You heard my baby!
But yeah, Adam was, they said like he was Asperger's as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't Asperger's. He was
eating
Asperger's.
Oh,
as
he had Asperger's.
fuck. And so it was like, mom would go to class and be like, okay, here's little Adam, he's 4. And,
He's Asperger's as fuck. Good luck.
And so it's the Boy Scouts, the Cub Scouts or something. And the guy Cub Scout leader's there, and she's like, hey, do me a favor, whatever you do, don't touch Adam. And he's like, whoa, I don't touch kids.
Yeah. A little stereotypical, isn't
Wait
it?
a second.
I'm a
here.
Cub Scout leader, not a Boy
Jesus
Scout
Christ.
leader.
You see unbuttoned pants? What do you think this is?
I got a kerchief. Give me a break.
Look, I wear this gay-looking outfit. Doesn't mean I'm going to jack your fucking kid off, lady. She's like, whoa. Sorry about that. Sorry. I meant don't like pat him on the back. Good job. Don't shake his hand.
Yeah.
Don't high five him.
It's like a something about Mary guy, right?
Dude, yes.
Warren?
Warren. Fucking wear your headphones. Earmuffs. He didn't want to be fucking touched, period, by anybody, and he would freak the fuck out.
Ever try touching E? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I don't want to, but I know. E doesn't like it either. But while E is Asperger's, Lanza was Asperger's as fuck, and so it was way worse for him. And that never went. And they were like being in the hallway where other kids were. Huge problem.
Yeah.
It's got to be like an empty hall, and he just walks to class by himself. He doesn't like change at all. You don't move with Adam Lanza. Like, freaks the fuck out.
Yeah.
But mom moved, and they got him into some program. He's in high school. He's doing this, and this high school teacher of his, high school, in
Sure,
air
quote,
quotes.
unquote.
Yeah. He's in this special class, and the teacher's like, yeah, mom was kind of a hunter and took the boys shooting to the range. He had a brother, Ryan, or something, and Adam when they were young, and she had guns, and that was the mistake that Nancy made. She was a great mother. She loved the fuck out of these kids. She took them to the best schools, moved to give them an opportunity to go to other schools where it could be more helpful. What you would think that a good parent would do. But she left the guns in the house, and
One fatal mistake.
he took a fucking rifle out of the gun whatever in his house there, while mom is sleeping. Goes up to Nancy, 1, 2, 3, 4 bullets in the head. Wouldn't you think, like, if I shot E in the head right now with a rifle, wouldn't you think that very little brains would splatter all over the ground,
Skull everywhere.
but I wouldn't. It'd be like, fuck, I got one shot at his head. I can't
wonder
put
if that
4 more.
I wonder
in
if
there.
that vacuum would release a sound. You know what I mean? Like, right? You punch a hole in it,
his little bean pops.
it just
Yeah,
releases.
you're so fucking smart. Jesus, Mike. Like, come on,
What?
dude. What does that mean? Fuck you, man.
Did he forget we're doing a talk show today?
I don't know.
Is that what he did? He just
Yeah,
forgot.
that's what I
He
forgot.
forgot we're doing a talk. What did I say exactly?
I don't even know, man.
Was it
Whatever.
about blowing your head off that you took offense to?
No.
Very little brains being splattered.
Yeah.
The
was a
vacuum
co-
inside?
the same.
Was it that?
Whatever, man.
Which part was it?
I don't
need-
even fucking care.
If
Never
I'm going to
mind.
correct the problem
You're
or
never gonna-
if I'm going to properly apologize for it, I need to know what it is.
No, you don't, but it's all right.
Yeah, so he
Not
pops her
awkward.
4 times. Bam. Watermelon,
in the
right?
head. And then put that gun down. We don't need that anymore. And then he got the AR and went and did what he did, but I don't know. Anyway, I thought that was an interesting story, about the percentages of that. So if you're really worried about it, it's kind of a long shot.
Mm-hmm.
Play the lotto. You'll win that sooner. Let's take a quick break, dude.
Yo.
All right? And then we'll try and get Eases back on track. We had some we got to do the National Geographic story.
Absolutely.
Oh, fuck. All right, we'll do that when we come back.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey, I'm Mike, and I'll file with Kyle.
I'm Jay, and I'll file with Kyle.
I'm Big E, and I guess Kyle can do my taxes too.
No, you fucking tart. It's supposed to rhyme. I'll file with Kyle.
Oh yeah, I'm Big E, and I'll file with Kyle.
Hey everybody, it's me, Kyle Mayer, and hopefully this tax season you'll join our podcast heroes in saying I'll file with Kyle. The Detroit Cast is good at what they do, and I'm good at what I do. Call 248-521-0016 and say I'll file with Kyle, and I'll take 10% off your tax prep bill. Actually, you can say anything TDC related to get 10% off. Like Big E, Stamberta, Dirtface, Nana, or whatever. Just make sure you call me at 248-521-0016.
Now, bitches, here are Mike and Jay.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Detroitcast, powered by DealsInTheD.com with Mike and Jay.
Hey, speaking of deals in the D, spring is in the air, allegedly, and that means it's truck month at Zott Ford and Holly. Check out these ridiculous deals on the best-selling trucks and SUVs in America. Lease a new 18 Ford Escape for just $147 a month, or lease a new loaded 18 Ford Explorer at $194 a month. Finally, the number one selling truck on the planet, a new 18 Ford F-150 four-wheel drive Super Crew as low as $181 a month. See details in their massive inventory at DealsInTheD.com.
And don't forget, is it this Saturday? You're going to be out at the Hamlin Pub at 25 in Van Dyke.
Kegs and eggs with Easus.
Kegs and eggs, yeah. All you have to do when you get in there, if you get in there between 7 and 11, I believe is when they're doing their St. Patrick's Day breakfast. So you get in there and just mention, hey, I'm here with a Detroitcast free breakfast, which is awesome. And E will be there pounding beers with you all day. So,
Hell yeah.
So go on out there, and that's always fun to have a drunk E. I expect people that go out there to take some videos as E gets drunker.
I would too.
Because then he'll start singing and shit with bands. And
You never know.
dancing.
If there's a band, I will eventually dance.
Yeah.
But it will only happen.
He could get nude. He could dance. He could sing.
It depends if they play just shitty, no offense, shitty Irish music. If eventually there's a band that's playing
That'll
at
be
least
part
like
of it.
some-
They'll bring
yeah.
in regular.
Yeah,
Dude, that's one of their staples. Who doesn't
know.
love the bagpipers?
I like it for a little bit, but then I'm not going to dance a bagpipery. I'm going to dance if they play
You're gonna do,
Journey
like,
at
the river
1
dance?
a.m.
Yeah, do the fucking Michael
Celtic,
Flatley, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
that,
just
Easus.
go out there and get drunk and make a
I
fool of
will.
yourself so people can get some
Don't
good
worry
video
about
for
that.
us. Again, 25 in Van Dyke location is where he'll be. So I can tell already, Jay, looking at our clock, that we're going to go over if we're not careful. And so why don't we plan on popping into the members area?
Mike, I'd be delighted.
Do you have the time?
Of course.
You do?
Yes, always
Okay,
have
very
time
good.
for our members.
All right, so we will plan on going over there in a few and doing some more stories. But we wanted to get this National Geographic one in. Who knew? Who knew? National Geographic was racist as fuck.
Yeah.
Dude.
I'll be darned.
They've acknowledged today.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we covered the world through a racist lens for generations. Sorry about that. Our bad. Yeah. That magazine portrayals of bare-titted women and brown-skinned tribesmen as savage, unsophisticated, and unintelligent. Yeah, you guys did that. I
They
remember all
definitely
that
did.
stuff. Yep.
Fuck yes. I think I probably saw my first boob in a National
Oh,
Geographic.
I was going to say, dude, that's
Right?
most of us, and they acknowledged that too. They were doing that on purpose because they knew young white boys were getting their first looks at titties before we moved on to things like Playboy. We didn't care how saggy they were, if they were painted. It was just like, boom, tits, nips.
We cared. Don't overstate it, Mike.
We
We cared
cared,
how
but
saggy they were. I mean,
you were
oh my God, look at that shit. It's at her knees.
Yeah, but you were...
It's at her knees.
Dude, you were 2 pages away from the fucking 17-year-old girl
Yeah,
with the
that's true.
perky ones, you
That's
know?
true. I remember
And
covers.
and like a
with-
bone in her mouth or her
remember
lip.
tits on the cover. Am I imagining that?
I don't know if you saw tits on the cover.
Man, I think I saw tits on the cover.
Cite your sources, sir. Because I don't know that I've
Jesus,
seen...
Bing it. Tits on the cover of National Geographic.
Yeah, we had to own our story to move beyond it, said their new editor-in-chief, Susan Goldberg. And she was talking about the magazine's April issue, which, what do you know, it's dedicated to race. So they're going to fix it all by having a black friend now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Good for them. But we're promoting it as like, we were really racist back then, but not anymore. We love black people now.
It's actually a pretty cool magazine. Like, I remember as a kid thinking, this is stupid. My dad had a subscription.
Of course he did.
So did Uwe.
Yeah.
Goddammit, Marcel.
Dude. Uwe, of course.
Yeah, he had them all lined up on his bookshelf. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't miss a freaking volume.
No. Hell
But,
no.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
That middle one, though, you know
That's-
what I mean?
Yeah, right?
Like it's like, yeah, the one on the
Exactly.
right sucks. There's just no defense of that. The one on the left, still trying to come into its own. I shouldn't be looking at that. It's just too young.
Yeah, but
the one in the middle,
You're exactly right, man.
I'd like to get twixt them, right?
Jesus, nothing on the cover? I imagine that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Couldn't get past that one.
Yeah, sure.
Still haven't got through Zimbabwe.
When do you think they first published National Geographic?
Oh, man. Early. 19... Really?
Dude, 1888.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I was going to say 1912 or something.
That would have been a good guess. I would have probably said the 20s. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but
1888. Woo!
an investigation conducted last fall by the University of Virginia. Photography historian John Mason, he's the guy at U of Virginia. I didn't say that right, but showed that until the 1970s, the magazine virtually ignored people of color in the United States who were not domestics or laborers. See, I always think of National Geographic as not covering much in the United States.
No, I don't remember anything about the U.S. I remember
think,
looking at cool pictures of like Madrid and stuff.
Dude, I just remember like pucks and lips, bones and noses and titties. Like that's
a lot of Eastern European type shit. You know, a guy in a hot tub like with snow all around. You know, some Ruski guy sitting there. I was about to say, like, and this may be overstating it, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was about to say, it's not a bad magazine. If you're an adult, like as a kid, I remember thinking, this is just looking at
boring.
the pictures, right? Boring.
Yeah.
But dude, it's a pretty comprehensive magazine.
Absolutely.
If that's what you're into.
They also
Native
found
boobies.
that National Geographic reinforced repeatedly the idea that people of color from foreign lands were exotics, famously and frequently unclothed, happy hunters, noble savages, every type of cliche. For example, in an article about Australia in 1916,
the Aboriginal folks.
the caption on a photo of two Aboriginal people read, "South Australian blackfellows. These savages rank lowest in intelligence of all human beings."
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's not a good thing to
very
say.
woke.
I wouldn't be
What
proud
year
of
was that?
1916.
Okay, well, come on.
I know. I was going to say if it was like 1983, I would have been
Right.
like, oh, fuck, man. But in addition, National Geographic perpetuated the cliche of native people fascinated by technology and overloaded the magazine with pictures of beautiful Pacific Island women.
Yeah, I remember some Polynesians, for sure.
I don't want to
Grass-skirted.
overstate it like all the chicks were hot.
No. They definitely
You know what I
weren't.
mean? Like, don't give yourselves too much credit
But for a
here.
12-year-old boy, you know, you're flipping through, you're, holy shit, man. She's in
Yeah.
a grass skirt and nothing else.
Yeah. The exam comes as other media organizations are also casting a little critical eye on their past. The New York Times admitted that most of its obituaries chronicle the lives of white men. White man dies and it's press-worthy. They began publishing obituaries of famous women in its overlooked section. National Geographic's April issue, Goldberg says, who identified herself as the first woman and Jewish editor, wrote a letter titled, "For decades, our coverage was racist. To rise above our past, we must acknowledge it. I knew when we looked back there would be some storytelling that we obviously would never do today, that we don't do and we're not proud of. But it seemed to me if we want
Is
to
it
credibly talk
racist
about
or is
race,
it just not politically correct? That's my question. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like, was it overtly racist? Like, I didn't like that headline you just read about Aboriginal people.
Yeah.
But maybe it's true, you know? Maybe it was, like, if you test the dumbest people on the planet, you
would make
test the
sense.
planet,
It's
test
not their
populations.
fault.
Right.
I
It's
mean,
not like, they're dumb because they're dark-skinned.
Yeah, it's like,
Right?
no, they grew up on an island
If
with
it's a fact, yeah.
30 people,
Yeah.
and they're still in the fucking face painting
They
stage
literally
of life.
don't know what 1 + 1 is
Right.
because they've never been presented with it.
Morons. Morons. They fish with sticks.
See, that's what I wonder, man. Is was it overtly racist? Or were they
No.
like, oh boy, these
Racist by
dark-skinned
definition
folks.
means that you think that your race is superior in some way. I don't think that's what National Geographic was doing. I don't think they were.
I didn't feel like it, Mike. I feel like I was looking at titties, and that was about it. And every now and then, an Eastern European sitting in a jacuzzi.
Yeah. Well, this kind of comes full circle to what I was saying earlier about the way society forms their opinions about things. And the role, that's why I bitch so much about what an important role media
Titties.
plays. Because media, whether it's magazines or television,
So how do you feel about dark-skinned
can
titties?
send a message. It can send a message and paint and sculpt whatever they want. They can make it look like all black children are to be looked at with a side eye because they might rob you or kill you. You know, if you show them every night on the news with fucking red and blues behind them, it sends that message that this is all this is. This is all you get. You don't do a story on the news about the young black guy who started his own businesses and is killing it in his neighborhood.
We get it, Mike. You're
You know
a
what I mean?
woke bay. Hold on. Back to National Geographic.
And National Geographic
Isn't their
could do the
business
same
showing
thing.
us corners of the earth that we don't know about?
Yes.
It's just dudes sitting in Metro Detroit?
Yes.
Like, I want to see what Polynesia is all about, man. Show me Tahiti.
Well,
Show
maybe
me
their
what the
point-
people there are really. Are they saying they dug too deep into like the natives and
Yes.
didn't represent really the population there?
They were famous for having the white camera guy who was carrying the bags and stuff, and another guy's taking pictures, and he's showing them a fucking phone, and they're like, oh. Like they don't know what fire is or phones, and it's like, dude, you could
The
have gone
Coke
like,
bottle to a Bushman.
yes, there you go. The gods must be crazy. Where people are going, dude, you could go like 3 miles inland and there's like a whole town,
Gotcha.
and they're fucking flying planes and shit.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And so it was like, no,
But if that population exists, that's interesting. Just as Amazonians, there's some tribes out there who have never encountered human beings, right?
Oh, and there's some nasty
And you get
fuckers out there.
I know,
dude.
they'll kill you in a
one
second.
Island, oh,
Sure. But there's also people in Brazil and so forth who are obviously very modernized.
Yep. There's
But
some
but if
bush folk.
you're going to those corners of the globe and you're trying to represent like, hey, here this exists.
And honestly, what fun is it to go to some land like that, some faraway land, and film the populated streets of suburbia?
It's no fun, Mike.
Dude, it's
not interesting.
You want to go to the
no
big
one's
city?
topless. No one's topless.
The lighted big city. I've got that here. What I don't have is pucks and lips.
Yeah, everybody in the city's broad and bloused, righty?
Yes.
Exactly. I want to see full displayed titties, some face paint, maybe
Sure.
a grass skirt or two. Bare feet is a must.
Not against it.
And a spear. Is that so much to ask for? They
No.
were fascinating images. They were. So yeah, when you say racist, you're probably right. It's more politically incorrect when you're throwing around terms like savages and stuff like
But
that.
they're falling hard on their sword, saying we were racist, we were unwoke, but now we are. See, that's troubling, and troubling and not hopeful. What's hopeful about that? I see
know,
no
but-
one under 60.
I know, but maybe
The
that's
one on the
what,
far right.
it's a
Dude,
problem.
They're
dude.
literally just udders, right?
How do those people get fat? It's not like they're eating a bunch of,
I don't know, man.
Yeah, we're looking at a very, very trouble. You can put that up on the screen, E, and show people. That's just National Geographic. Seriously,
NSFW,
go ahead.
dude.
It's what?
NSFW.
That's safe, dude. It's National Geographic.
Well-
I know it's deemed a racist magazine now, but you're right. It's not racist. I don't think they were overtly going like, haha, let's go make fun of black people and paint them all as this.
Inferior.
Yeah. People of color were often scantily clothed. People of color were usually not seen in cities. People of color were not often surrounded by technologies like automobiles, planes, trains, or factories. People of color were often pictured as living as if their ancestors might have lived several hundred years ago. And that's in contrast to
God
Westerners.
damn it, E. God damn you to hell. All right?
That's in contrast to Westerners
Shit.
who are always fully clothed and often.
Don't put that up on the feed. That,
You
dude,
can. You can. So who did that to those titties? Who is the animal?
he ought to be incarcerated.
He should.
That can that happen to titties?
I didn't think. I would think with a lighter you could do that to titties.
That's a big areola.
You know what I mean? Like she must have had, I don't know, 78 kids.
So that's what sun and gravity will just do, huh?
I
sun,
wonder-
gravity, and age.
Wouldn't you like to take like a wheel and just be like and go back like 50 years and see if at one point she just had a sweet huge rack? She was just a
I'd
natural
like to get out of this
full-
time period. Yes, I would very much.
She was a natural full D cup back in the day.
Dude, cover up everything from neck down. That's a dude, right?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Are we sure that's not a dude? Because her hairy belly and face.
We're just looking at man boobs?
Is it no?
A really bad case of man boob.
No,
I don't know, man.
He's gonna try to make
Stop
it worse.
it, E. What the? Dude, they just point down and droop if
Yeah.
they're not broad and bloused.
E, why wouldn't you find the hot chicks? If you just bing hot chicks from National Geographic, this display could be much more exciting.
He's punishing us for our prior
Yeah,
discussion.
he is. Fine, E. You've got a full-size brain in that head of yours. Now find some hot chicks. God damn, some nice island women, Pacific Islanders.
Come on, E,
Because this is-
Fiji or something.
Because this is funnier to me.
God damn you to hell. They're all smoking shit, too. You ever
Yeah, hell
notice
yeah.
that?
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, what else are you gonna do?
It astounds me, though. How many weeds did they have to smoke before they came upon one that
Gross.
did them good? You know what I mean?
But dude, that's fucking kick-ass to see in a magazine. I mean, honestly, take that whole picture into context. It's like, dude, where else are you going to see that besides National Geographic?
Yeah.
You're just not.
I'm sure they didn't place the face paint on them and give them the. I mean, they are living like
Yeah,
this.
that's what I'm saying.
Right?
We want to be taken to the corners of the globe. We want to understand this
This is the part
and
that
see some titties.
stinks because you and I are going to be like, yeah. white teenage boys could count on every issue or two of National Geographic having some brown-skinned bare titties for them to look at. And I think the editors knew that was one of the appeals of their magazine, because women, especially Asian women from the Pacific Islands, were photographed in ways that were almost glamour shots.
Yeah, you pull me up a cover. I swear to God, I remember covers.
You thinking of that girl with the blue eyes?
No,
remember that blue eyes?
That Afghani girl, yeah.
Oh.
And remember we saw her
Who got
30 years.
so gross. I mean, just...
She had these piercing blue eyes. Famous picture.
She still had those eyes, though.
She did.
You could still
They were
see him in that.
haunting, though.
It was like she had a monster mask on over him
Yes.
now, but
So weathered and gross. That poor girl.
yeah. Was National Geographic the one that posted the Vietnamese girl like running from the napalm, or
I'm sure that's been in Nat Geo, but
I mean, that was like
I don't know if that was specifically a National Geographic photographer.
wasn't that Pulitzer Prize worthy?
I believe it was.
And
Mike.
then the fucking the gun taken right before that kid's head was
Yep.
blown off. Was that Vietnam as well?
I believe it was, or Cambodia.
Making sure that kind of coverage never happens again should be paramount. Now, wait a second. Hold on. Back up.
Back up. Come on,
back up.
pump the brakes.
Bag up.
Trying to integrate the magazine media with more hiring of diverse writers and minorities in the magazine field is how we apologize for our past. And Goldberg's doing just that. The coverage wasn't right before because it was told from an elite, white devil, American point of view. Well, then go start your own fucking magazine and do it from your point of view.
Yeah, Goldberg.
Shut up, Goldberg. And I think it speaks to exactly why we needed a diversity of storytellers. Now she's going off the rails. Get over yourself, Goldberg. So we need photographers who are African American and Native American because they're going to capture a different truth and maybe a more accurate story.
Okay, go find the frickin' headhunters who are dancing around the pot full of, human bodies.
Yeah.
And then take a picture from a different perspective, black guy. I don't know. It is what it is.
And what
to
is
some extent.
You're totally right. So okay, great. Now you've got an Indian photographer, Native American photographer. All right, your job is Fiji, or your job is whatever island tribe. What, he's going to go there and take pictures of what? Not their titties?
All of a sudden they're broad and bloused?
Yeah. Showing them like using a cell phone and kicking ass, dancing to Jay-Z tunes. Like what? Like it is what it is.
Swiping on Tinder?
No one wants to see some fucking, city landscape in some foreign land. No. I want to see those fucking savage motherfuckers at that one. Dude, they had to rope that island off. The island where there's only like 100 people.
Yeah.
And they don't ask questions. You get within 100 yards of them.
Yeah, you fly over, you get under like 50 feet or so, they start chucking spears at you.
At your plane.
Yeah.
Your boat, we ran out of gas, man. Ain't a chance you can help us? Through the head spear.
Yeah.
They don't want anything to fucking do with you. And it's gotten so bad that the government closest to them is like, look, listen, for 200 miles around this island, this is a no-go zone. This is land you do not approach.
They'll eat you.
Period. And it's like, and so all they've got is like video of a plane, like really quick, just like going over it, and they're all just like, fuck you! I don't know what they're mad about.
What would you do if you were isolated, though, right? I mean, you try to be...
Yeah.
It's your only defense mechanism. Go on the offense.
Why the angst? It had to start somewhere. Someone had to be there going, look, dude.
It's the fucking monkey god shit, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they're being told, like, oh, that's the gods coming down and we need to fight and blah, whatever.
We need to send Ed Bolin over there. Have him go in there and shake hands, make peace, put the do-rag on and start dancing and shit with him.
I can solve this.
I can fix this. It's my calling. All right, we got to get out of here. We missed email, and I know it's piling up, Jay. I apologize.
Oh, my God.
Sorry.
We talked right through email?
Yeah.
All right, we're headed over the members area.
Members area, yes. We got some important stuff to do over there. So we'll see you over there. Have a great rest of the day, everybody.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.